$30,000 scholarship per year. Imagine for 4 years of undergrad program, it will be $120,000.
Who should choose USA as their education destination?
Zani Bitike, they want to earn money and then so that's the major difference between US and other countries.
Mr. Jackson Subedi, sir, current recruitment manager of Elmhurst University, USA. Can you take us through what really happens in the interview inside embassy?
Pink slip is, here is your slip. Please fulfill the condition.
Okay.
I will try to tell them the exact fact what's happening with the US.
A warm welcome, everyone. I'm Anup Acharya. Join me in Hima Aus present Get It Right the podcast. Hi, namaste. Let's talk about a student going abroad. हामीले नेपालको past 5 years को data हेर्ने हो भने 1 in 5 Nepalese student fly abroad for their higher education, tertiary education, right? र गत वर्षको मात्रै डाटा हेर्नुहुन्छ भने शिक्षा मन्त्रालयको डाटा अनुसार 1,12,595 जनाले एनओसी को लागि इस्यु गर्नुभएको छ. एनओसी भनेको नो अब्जेक्सन सर्टिफिकेट द्याट अलाउज स्टुडेन्ट टु अप्लाई इन फरेन युनिभर्सिटी इन डिफ्रेन्ट कोर्सेस. ओके, त्यो एप्लिकेसनमा सबैभन्दा धेरै इस्यु भएको एनओसी चाहिँ जापानको लागि छ. अनि जापान पछि अस्ट्रेलिया, क्यानाडा, युके हुँदै युएससम्म र अरू डिफ्रेन्ट कन्ट्रिजसम्म त्यसको के छ विद्यार्थीहरूको एनओसीजहरू इस्यु भएको छ. स्टुडेन्ट्स go for different reasons. Students have different reasons why they go abroad. Very, very relevant, very justifiable reasons also why they go abroad. But somewhere down the line, there is some kind of misunderstanding, misinformation, and lots of confusion in students as well. So कोही पनि विद्यार्थी बाहिर जानुभन्दा अगाडि के थाहा पाउनुपर्छ, के कुराको लागि चाहिँ तपाईहरु प्रिपेयर हुनुपर्छ, त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हामीले एउटा शो लिएर आएका छौं एन्ड द्याट्स कल्ड गेट इट राइट. आजको कन्टेक्स्टमा हामी चाहिँ युएस युनिभर्सिटी, युएस भिजा, F1 भिजा बेसिकली को बारेमा कुरा गर्छौं र हामीसँग एकदमै स्पेशल गेस्ट पनि हुनुहुन्छ जो चाहिँ यो फिल्डमा, युएस एजुकेसनको फिल्डमा, युएस सिस्टम लाई राम्रोसँग बुझ्नु भएको छ र 10 वर्षभन्दा बढी उहाँले यो सेक्टरमा इन्भेस्ट गरिसक्नु भएको छ र आफैले यसलाई एक्सप्लोर र एक्सप्यान्ड गर्दै पनि हेर्जानु भएको छ. ओके, गेट इट राइट भन्ने शोले चाहिँ गेट इट राइट द पोडकास्ट एक्चुअली यो शोले चाहिँ तपाईहरु यो विद्यार्थीहरूको लागि टार्गेटेड छ र जहाँ चाहिँ हामी डिफ्रेन्ट युनिभर्सिटी रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ, कन्ट्री रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभहरूसँग कुराकानी गर्छौं अथवा इन्डस्ट्री एक्सपर्टसँग कुराकानी गर्छौं सो द्याट कि विद्यार्थीहरूलाई एउटा राइट इन्फर्मेसन होस्, राइट गाइडेन्स पाओस् र दे आर रेडी टु अप्लाई एन्ड दे आर रेडी टु फेस एनी च्यालेन्जेस दे माइट बी फेसिङ इन इन्टरनेसनल ल्यान्ड ओर अब्रोड countries when they go for education. Hi, namaste, and warm welcome everyone, especially their students. I'm Anup Acharya. Join me in Hima Aus present Get It Right the podcast. For the very first show and very first episode today, I'd like to introduce someone who has been in the field for more than a decade, and he has been exploring and expanding his expertise in the field of guiding students and bringing world-class institution universities to Nepal, and the current recruitment manager of Elmhurst University, USA, and managing director at Global Unisearch, Mr. Jackson Subedi, sir. And let's hear from the man himself and what he's doing currently and how he sees the education sector and international education industry in overall.
Thank you very much, Anup. So I'm very excited to be in your show. First episode, first show, and to be the first guest in your podcast, Get It Right. Thank you very much for inviting me. You had a very long introduction of me, but I'm not doing a lot of things. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to educate, trying to transfer the knowledge to the right people, that is you from Hima Aus and similar kind of agencies who work with student recruitment. I am the International Recruitment Manager for Elmhurst University based in Chicago, USA. And I represent that university. That university, Elmhurst, is under Global Unisearch. So, Global Unisearch, when I formed this organization, my idea was to bring in world class universities to Nepal and recruit students through agency partners. I received very good feedback and very good response and support from agencies. So, I have been able to increase the university portfolio from one to three to around 20 universities directly and indirectly under Global Unisearch. They are in various locations in US. They have different kind of programs, undergrad, grad, all kinds of programs that they have. And we have been very much successful in recruiting right students to the right university. So I'll answer all your questions in this podcast so that it'll be helpful for your students, for viewers who are viewing this podcast from anywhere in the world, and also maybe parents, the confused parents with the recent changes in
Right.
the rule of US education. I will try to at least tell them the exact fact what's happening with the US visas and US recruitments. So whatever I know, I plan to share that with you in
That
your
will be great.
show.
So let's move on to first question.
Okay.
Uh, let's can you just take us through your experience and journey on knowing university and colleges across US, and you are well aware about the education system in US, how US universities view Nepalese student, and what are their expectations with Nepalese students. Can you just take us through?
Okay, Nepalese students in the US, US education is very much straightforward, right? 4 years of bachelor's degree, 2 years of master's, or 1.5 years of master's, and then you'll get practical trainings on both undergrad and grad. So it's a very straightforward system that they have. It's good for students who would like to study and would like to perform in the US. There are clubs and activities happening throughout the year, multiple group that they can join. They can form their own group as a leadership as a leadership part of the university. They can join international student service team. They can maybe on campus job that they can find in library or cafeteria or wherever they want to work inside campus. F1 student visa comes with the condition that they can only work 20 hours per week
Right.
on campus. Out of campus, US F1 student visa cannot work, right? So if students understand all these things, and then if student wants to invest in their studies for their study period, for undergrad, let's say 4 years, and then for grad 2 years or 1.5 years, then I think their future in US will be one of the best that they dream of, right? So USA has been supporting all international students, and Nepali students have been very loyal to the universities. They go and they study.
Complete
I
education.
see Nepali students performing very well in the US as per the education system there. And our students who go from Nepal are well prepared, right? They have done good in their education here in Nepal. And then they go there and they do good there as well. That's what we need. And US universities are happy to receive Nepali students into their campuses in
Right.
the USA.
So very notable thing you said about F1 visa, right? So that's a student visa
Yep.
that's granted for Nepalese student or any international
Any international student visa.
students. That's
True.
called F1 visa,
F1,
right?
yeah.
So one thing to note is when you are in F1 visa, you can work on campus for
20 hours.
20 hours per week, right? And other than that, you are not allowed
to work,
to
yeah.
work in US,
Sure.
right? So that's very important message to come across, or students should be aware of, right? Uh, so how easy or difficult would you say it is to get I-20 or from the colleges and
Okay,
universities?
I-20 is the offer letter, right? It's the admission letter, which has a university name, address, student's date of birth, class start date, end date, tuition fee, scholarship, and everything is there. So I-20 will not be difficult if a student has all the documents that comes in as a requirement. Most of the usual documents would be passport, your academic documents, your English language proficiency test score report, whatever English language test you give, letter of recommendations, maybe a few of them, statement of purpose or essay, we call it. So we need all those documents and financial documents attached. Also, they need to sign affidavit of finance. After they have all these documents, admission team will take a look into it and will provide admission decision within a week maybe. Then if there's anything remaining, then students can submit the remaining documents, and the following week they should be ready with the I-20. So 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now, some of the universities also have scholarship decisions pending. So if they need to apply for a different scholarship, then there will be a scholarship committee deciding on that scholarship. That might extend to a week more, right? So ideal duration would be around 3 weeks to a month. So that's all it needs. If university has less number of applications, they might speed up the process and give the I-20 within 2 weeks. But
Right.
ideal time would be a month.
So how would you define or describe, or how is life, as an international student in USA, specifically for someone going from Nepalese student? How is life?
It's like this. How it depends upon the expectation of the student, right? So if the student is expecting a flashy lifestyle, and then they end up in a university which is in a remote location, then they might feel out of place, right? They might feel like, where am I? Is this US kind of feeling? But if students are well prepared and they know what they are there for, so they want to study, perform well in their studies, and then they know that bigger city like New York or Chicago or San Francisco is right there, which they will end up maybe on a vacation, or they'll find work after education whenever they find it. So that's there. So not every city is as flashy as those big cities, right? So we have to prepare these students well, saying that not everywhere you'll see big skyscrapers, and then you'll see that kind of environment everywhere. But
Right.
but US is very, very big, and not everywhere they will find big things happening. But if students are prepared and they know what they are there for, and then if they want to go to a bigger city, then they can make that decision as well. They can find a university which is in a big city. If not, if they are looking for an affordable option, then they need to check affordable option where the university is. And most of the
Right.
state universities, most of the affordable universities may be in not in a very advanced city, right? It might be somewhere in a quiet place. So that's where students sometimes fall into play. Like, let's say, will have miss guidance, right?
Right.
So that's why they need to be prepared. They need to check where they are going, and then know about almost everything about the location, weather, and everything that they need to check.
Right.
And then they have to land up where they see themselves studying for at least
True.
their bachelor's and master's program.
Like you said, no, that's why it's very important, right?
That's
To
right.
get it right, to be self-aware of
Exactly.
like kun course man पर्छ,
Oh,
कुन university or कुन state मा म गइरहेको छु,
Oh,
त्यो self awareness पनि हुनु पर्यो, र they should be willing to meet people like you, or find a good consultant or team of counselors who can
Exactly.
connect with
Exactly.
people like you, and they can
Exactly.
get right information,
Oh,
right?
oh.
Like we said, self-awareness and realization is one thing, key factor. So who should choose USA as their education destination? What kind of academic background, or what kind of thinking, personality types should choose US as their academic?
Okay. So first of all, student who perform very well in the education. Now, what is that well performing? How do we classify that, or how do we quantify that? Is someone who has good GPA. Now, good GPA is, let's say, 3 and above, maybe, right? I've seen students with 2.8, 2.7 also landing in the US, and they're performing exceptionally well, but I'm not generalizing things here. If it's 3 and above GPA, if they have 6.5, 7 in IELTS, then I think they will do good with their education in the US. यस्तो हुन भएन situation कि in a classroom where American professor is teaching, and then you're not being able to follow the language, right? अब त्यहाँ
Understand.
पुगेपछि language पढ्ने कि आफ्नो course पढ्ने
Course
त
पढ्ने.
हैन. So त्यही भएर language, that's why we need English language test.
Right, right.
We need to see if you qualify or not. Will you be able to understand what the professor is teaching, हैन. त्यही भएर Elmhurst has 6.5 as a requirement for both undergrad and grad students, because we want good students going to a good university. Other university may have 6, right? तर I get lots of questions like 7.5 आयो भने चाहिँ के हुन्छ scholarship बढ्छ
Scholarship
this that.
पाउँछ,
No, language is not the criteria for scholarship. It's the eligibility requirement, which you have to be eligible to go to that university and study. हैन, so त्यही भएर language is very 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 important. And then जसको education राम्रो छ, and main कुरा to answer this question is they should have a correct mindset to complete the education in US. गएर त्यहाँ झिलिमिलीमा हैन अरूले कमाएको देखेर आफू मिसलिड भएर पढाइ नै छोडेर अरू चिज गर्ने त्यो हुन भएन क्या.
Unlike other countries.
Exactly, त्यो हुन भएन. So त्यहाँ गएर चाहिँ first priority is to complete your education. हैन, एजुकेसन कम्प्लिट भइसकेपछि देन opportunities will open up. हैन, त्यसपछि अनि बल्ल अपर्च्युनिटिज वान बाई वान लिँदै जाने गर्दै जाने, प्र्याक्टिकल ट्रेनिङ्स होला गर्दै जाने, एन्ड देन इफ यु गेट अ राइट इम्प्लोयर दे माइट स्पोन्सर यु फर डिफ्रेन्ट भिजा टाइप्स एन्ड दिस एन्ड द्याट विल फलो लेटर. तर वाट स्टुडेन्ट्स डु इज जाने बित्तिकै दे वान्ट टु अर्न मनी एन्ड देन त्यस्तो त्यो चाहिँ हुँदैन क्या युएसमा. सो द्याट्स द मेजर डिफरेन्स बिट्विन युएस एन्ड अदर कन्ट्रिज. So they were a right mindset, have to complete your education, and I'm sure that opportunities will follow.
Right. How do you compare that with other destinations like Australia, Canada?
That's true. That's true that we have very less documentation needed for US universities. Now, 80% of the document, 85% of the document, students already have it after they graduate their studies, right? Plus 2 pachi or bachelor's pachi, they already have 85% of the documents. 15% depends upon letter of recommendation that they need to go and bring it from the university. Maybe English language test scores or English language dinu paryo, test dinu paryo, to report bujaunu paryo. And then the financial part. Now, financial, why is it easy, or why students find it easy, is because most of the universities will ask for bank certificate that has enough money to spend for a year. Tuition fee plus living expense plus plus meal plan plus insurance and other expenses. So to give you an average, let's say if it's $15,000 university, and then you have $10,000 for your living expense and maybe $5,000 for miscellaneous costs and other things, so it's $30,000. So they need to show $35,000 that's there in their account. Very simple. त्यति मात्र हो नि त रिक्वायरमेन्ट. सो त्यो भएको भएर चाहिँ इट्स अलिकति सजिलो मानिन्छ. नाउ tax documents, tax clearance, let's say property valuation, and then all those documents, it's not required for US. Yes. Tara, by the latest change for pink slip is a conditional letter given to you after your visa interview. Visa interview, there are few slips. Green slip is visa payo. Okay. Here's your visa. Please come and pick it up. Congratulations. Have a good time in US. And a green slip. Pink slip is, here's your slip. Please fulfill the condition. Okay. So condition ma chai ke huncha, as per the interview, if students say that my parents will be my sponsor and they will be sponsoring me for my education in US, and then they earn around $80,000 in a year, they have a big company over there. Condition ke huna sakcha ta? Company registration, tax clearance, things like that. You know, so they need to fulfill that condition, submit, and get their visas. Right? If they fake around the embassy interview and they say just for the sake of saying, then maybe they will not be able to fulfill the condition. That means it's a visa denial. हैन, त्यो दुटा स्लिप भयो, and अर्को yellow or white slip वाला आउँछ जुन चाहिँ it's a denial, straight away denial. हैन, so त्यही भएर condition मा चाहिँ it's important. सुरुमा देखाउन के पनि नपर्ला, condition slip मा चाहिँ देखाउनु पर्ने आयो भने चाहिँ देखाउनै पर्यो. Okay. So that's why you have to be अलिकति careful. Other than that, documentations मा त we have very less requirements. All the US universities. त्यही भएर पनि होला स्टुडेन्टलाई अलिकति सजिलो लाग्छ यहाँ अप्लाई गर्न.
So what is the kind of scholarship thing and the courses that your university or the organizations that you lead and all the universities that you have under that umbrella, how is that? Can you please explain? And
you're pretty much right, Anup. Like scholarship, universities are very generous when they provide scholarship. To give you an example, I'll not cover all the universities, of course. To give you an example, I'll give you a few examples. Elmhurst University is a non-profit university, right? So whatever they generate on funds, they give out on scholarship. So when you look at undergrad students, I-20, you'll see generous amount there. Like there will be $28,000, $29,000, $30,000 scholarship per year. Imagine for 4 years of undergrad program, it will be $120,000. So that means it's Nepali Mata, it's 1.5 crore ko scholarship.
Right.
है ना? So that way they give good amount of scholarship. Bethany College maybe is giving around $30,000, right, as a scholarship for a year. That's per year. That's again generous enough. And then you'll see some of the state universities has who have their fees as $10,000, $12,000. They can't afford to give much scholarship, but still they give $1,000 or $2,000, right? So making it very affordable for Nepalese students to go to public state university. So scholarship, you're very much right. There are lots of scholarship provided by US universities. If students have good GPA, higher the GPA, higher maybe the scholarship.
Right.
So US is very good with scholarship, and no other country may give that kind of scholarship that generously. So US is interested in us.
So SAT or GMAT or GRE,
Exactly.
that are very necessary to get a scholarship, right?
Okay, yeah.
Can a student get a scholarship without those test results?
See, the situation have changed a lot, right? Like 10, 12, 15 years back, you see students doing TOEFL and SAT to go to US, right? Only it was perceived as only good students can go to US with TOEFL and SAT. Now situation has changed a lot. Most of the universities accept all kind of test score. That means it's IELTS, PTE, TOEFL, Duolingo, and all those tests are accepted as an eligibility criteria. On top of that, when students do for undergrad, they do SAT, which is a scholarship test. That means if they have to score good in SAT, they have higher chances of bumping up their scholarship. They might get more scholarship. It depends upon university's criteria. There are some universities that's test optional. So that means, do they need SAT? They don't need SAT score.
Okay.
But some of the universities say, if you have a SAT score this much, let's say 1200 and above or 1250 and above, then we'll give you this kind of scholarship. Then SAT will help. Similarly, for graduate students, GRE GMAT may be helpful when they are doing engineering or difficult kind of program. Then GRE GMAT may also be helpful. Again, depends upon the university criteria. If it's test optional, they might not ask for GRE GMAT. But if they are trying to filter out students' applications with some kind of test score and also wants to give scholarship with higher GRE GMAT, then yes, you may go for GRE GMAT. But again, it depends upon university to university. Students have to check the rules of the university as well. At the course they select, whether university requires GRE GMAT or not, or are they happy with just IELTS PTE scores? So we need to check that.
So recently, I don't know if I'm correct or not. Is it so that students coming from background related to health sector or nursing is increasing, and it is very likely that they also have higher chances of visa approvals in US?
See, it's like this. Sometimes there will be changes when there is some kind of situation, right? So we went through a situation, very bad situation of COVID, right? Everyone was terrified. So after COVID, we are seeing lots of changes in the health sector. We need more doctors, we need more nurses, we need more people who's practicing medicals and all those things. So that's why that might be one of the reasons why US needs more of those kind of technical people, right? And then not just that, on the IT sector, we just had like few years back, we had computer science. Now, within computer science, we also have major in AI, right? Bachelor's in AI. We have bachelor's in cybersecurity. We have bachelor's in drone technologies, maybe, or information system, or lots of course evolving data analytics, business analytics, and then lots of things coming around IT. Right? And as long as the program is a STEM program, STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So as long as the program is STEM program, students are better off because it's, again, there's a new rule that I'll discuss at the end of this session today about the new rule changes, but students will be better off with their practical training opportunities, right? After 4 years of education, while they do 1 year of CPT within their studies, after studies, they'll be getting 3 years of practical training, optional practical training, that's OPT, to practice what they have learned. That will happen only for the STEM program. For non-STEM program, it's only 1 year. right? So that's why we see more approvals with the STEM programs, and also there are more applications for STEM programs, right? So त्यही भएर एप्लिकेसन बढ्दैछ STEM को लागि, and
Sorry,
it's
अहिले भने
beneficial.
OPT भन्नुहुन्छ.
हो,
Is it like something we call post-study
post-study work,
work in
exactly.
other countries?
Yes,
It's just
yes.
1 year for
Non-STEM,
general non-STEM,
and then 3 years
3
for
years, up
STEM.
to 3 years for
Up to
STEM.
3
They
years
can
for STEM.
work, earn.
Yeah, yeah. They can practice whatever they have learned.
What are the odds or chances of people graduating from reputed universities like Amherst or other universities and being able to get or land a job and extend their visas
Yes.
and stay in US?
Now, see, this thing is, you cracked a very important point here. It all depends upon location of the university where students are going, right? So if students are going to Elmhurst University, which is near Chicago, then there's no doubt they will land a job in their hand before they graduate. Why? Because what Elmhurst does is they call more than 200 plus business houses from Chicago to come to Elmhurst, and then we do career fair every 3 or 4 months. So in a year, tinta career fair huncha, where students will be meeting the business inside university without stepping out.
Okay.
So we'll be meeting like business houses and discussing them what skills are they looking for. So are students market ready or not? What skills do they need to develop? And all these things can happen only if university is located in a big city, right? If university is not located in a big city, then obviously there might be career fairs there as well, and then but the odds are less, right? There'll be less chances, there'll be less opportunities, there'll be less. The students might have to work harder than in cities, right? So that's why location is very important when you are selecting the university. So Elmhurst Matai, obviously, CPT and OPT, maybe students before they graduate, they might have some offers in their hand. And पछि सकिने बित्तिकै OPT apply गर्छ, OPT पाइहाल्छ, पाएपछि त, and then they'll be working for 3 years, practicing, earning, and doing all the things. And then if they are lucky enough, then employer will be there who will be sponsoring them for other visa types, and then it goes on.
Can the student also, on their own, reach out to corporates or the businesses?
Of course. It depends upon what kind of experience they have, how much they have learned, how much they have studied, and then they can always reach out to employer themselves. And what we do in the International Student Service Unit is we always guide them for their resumes and cover letters and all the vacancies that's there, people looking for interns and trainees and those things. We will connect our students to those business houses so that our students can practice whatever they are learning, right? So it's not like most of the engineering campus will have facilities within campus. They will have laboratories, they'll have GAR, ATA positions and everything, right? So for that, students may find something within university. If some universities are in city or in a very good location, then maybe International Student Service have to connect them to the businesses and then look for opportunities, at least to practice what they are learning, whether during the studies might be through curricular practical training, or after studies maybe through optional practical training.
I think this will be very, very important message to note and realize those who are in USA or who are aspiring to go US. Do you think new political rise or administration changes anything related to F1 visa student as immigrants? Like after Trump took over US, it was very unsure about whether to apply to US or not. And is it so, or it just
See, I cannot,
kind of
I cannot comment more about the administration. So what I can say is the news that has been brought up to the students and their parents, right? So everyone is following the news, what's there in the media. They are being fed with those news that's negative most of the time. Positive news travels slower,
very
right?
slow,
Negative
very
news
less.
travels very fast. So when students listen to negative news most of the time, then they feel negative about the entire country, right? So that's why it's very important that me coming to this podcast, relaying the information that it's not as bad as it looks through the news, right? So that's why there are lots of changes happening, right? So changes not just happen for bad things, good things are happening. Its rules are changing because there are something good coming up with US recruitment.
Right.
So that's why students do not need to fear about the changes. Students were never supposed to work out of campus. That's the rule, which people are now finding out, right? So that's why they think that the rule has changed, but no, rule has remained the same. Now they are hearing about this news, right? So that's why I see it. I see it as a positive move, and then I'm sure that there'll be some good news coming for student recruitment,
Right.
and then students will love to go to USA.
Yes, given the odds of visa approval, right? So if we see, like we earlier could have like people, students from Nepal want to go to US, and out of the NOCs given from the ministry in Nepal, I think 10% accounts for US related courses and universities, and when people want to go there, NOCs, and so I want to know, like we talked about, it's very unsure, or it's very unlikely to say it is exact thing how you get visa success for US. So can you take us through what really happens in interview inside embassy, and why is there widespread fear or misinformation around visa interview for America? And somebody कहिले कहिले भन्दैछ म बर्थडेको दिन गएँ I got visa, sometimes something like that. कहिले काहीँ केही सोधेन, क्वेसनै सोधेन, he just looked at me and just gave me the refusal. And I don't understand the US embassy.
Exactly.
Just the miscommunication, but it's
we can just guess what happens inside, and then obviously there are visa officers sitting there for the interview. Students and those who want to apply for visa will go there, and each and every individual has to go through the interview, right? Interview ma ke sodincha, ke huncha, profile ke document herera sodincha, that no one knows, right? Questions can come from anywhere. So they were students, if they are well prepared, they have done their research, they know where they are going, they know about their program, सबै कुरा थाहा छ भने त्यही confidence का साथ उले बोल्न सक्छ, हैन? And visa officer may like that confidence. If there are students where they are prepared by someone else, and then if that students have mocked up answers, they are all same answer that they are saying to the officers, and then officers have been taking interview day in and day out, they know where the answers are coming from, and if it's copy paste khalko answers, then those students are not getting visa, whatever profile they may have, हैन? So genuine हुनु पर्यो क्या, मेन कुरा रिसर्च किन जाने त युएस भन्दाखेरि पढ्न जाने हो नि त, त्यो जेन्युइनली आउनु पर्यो, पढ्न जाने, के गर्ने प्लान, के पढ्ने, पढेपछि के बन्ने, हैन, और फर्केर आएर के गर्ने, एभ्रिथिङ हैज टु बी कनेक्टेड, हैन? सो राम्रो फ्लो छ, सबै कनेक्टेड छ, राम्रोसित एक्सप्लेन गरेको छ, त्यसो भने द्याट विल इन्क्रिज द चान्सेस अफ देयर भिजास, हैन अब वाइ युएस भन्दाखेरि युएस इज माई ड्रिम कन्ट्री दिस द्याट भनेको छ भने त दे विल नट लाइक द्याट, हैन? सो विदिन अ लाइन भिजा माइट गेट डिनाइड, हैन? सो त्यही भएर वी हेभ टु बी केयरफुल, वी हेभ टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द क्वेसनको पर्पस एन्ड आन्सर त्यही तरिकाले, सो द्याट वी विल इम्प्रेस द अफिसर. सो इम्प्रेस गरेर भिजा लिने ठाउँ हो. So it's, I think it's one of the easiest way where you go with your documents, appear for 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes, go interview, and then get your visa and come.
Yes.
It's not like other countries where you wait for months to get your visas and you don't know what will happen, and then you are like din dine, हैन, duk ma the US ma you go, give your interview, if you are good enough, कतिले भाग्य भन्छ, yes, maybe it's luck as well, बर्थडेको दिन गयो, टिका लाएर गयो, हैन, oh it's a birthday भन्दाखेरि ह्यापी इन्भाइरोमेन्ट हुन्छ, इट्स नट बर्थडे भएर भिजा पाएको होइन क्या, हैन? तर ह्यापी इन्भाइरोमेन्टमा क्वेसन सोद्धाखेरि आन्सर भन्दाखेरि दे गट इम्प्रेस्ड, हैन? सो अब भिजाको अपोइन्टमेन्ट पाउनै गाह्रो छ, इन्टरभ्यू अब बर्थडेकै दिनमा इन्टरभ्यू पाइदिनु भने यसै लक्की भइहाल्यो, त्यसमाथि त्यो बेलामा गएर लक्कीलाई अलिकति कम गाह्रो क्वेसन्स आउला, उसले जे प्रिपेयर गरेको थियो राम्रोसित भन्छु भने त्यही क्वेसन आएर मजाले भन्यो होला.
सो इन्टरभ्यूको हामी कुरा गरिरहेको छौँ, इन्टरभ्यू डेट पाउन गाह्रो छ भन्ने हुन्छ. सो वाइ डु थिङ्क इज द केस? आई थिङ्क अब इज इट बिकज अफ द नम्बर द्याट दे इनरोल or number that they get for visa interview, it's too high, त्यही भएर चाहिँ त्यो डेट पाउन गाह्रो हो, or is it anything
अनि यस्तो
you
छ
can
अहिले
suggest?
चाहिँ अब अलिकति सिस्टमेटिक वेमा पनि जाँदैछ होइन पहिला त नो वान कहिले खुल्छ के हुन्छ थाहा थिएन त्यतिखेर पनि खोजिराख्नु पर्यो अहिले चाहिँ के छ लोड एकदमै कम भएको छ अन द पोर्टल र पहिले प्रि इन्फर्मड हुन्छ द्याट डेट इज ओपनिङ अन दिस डेट होइन फर दिस मन्थ भनेर हुन्छ सो त्यो मन्थमा टन्न डेटहरू खुल्छ सो त्यो डेटहरू खुलेको बेलामा लिने हामीलाई कहिले खुल्छ पनि थाहा हुन्छ बिहानको 8 बजे यो दिनमा भनेर भनेपछि त्यही बेलामा खुल्छ त्यही बेलामा भनिसकेपछि महिनाभरि हेरिराख्नु परेन क्या तर वेन एभर स्टुडेन्ट दे गेट द I-20 दे पे फर द भिजा इन्टरभ्यू डेट अनि कहिलेकाहीँ ऱ्यान्डमली हेर्दाखेरि पनि डेट्सहरू खुलिरहेको हुन्छ क्या बिचमा पनि सो पिपल आर डुइङ द्याट त्यहाँबाट पनि दे आर बुकिङ देयर डेट्स होइन भने सेड्युल्ड वेमा पनि दे आर बुकिङ देयर डेट्स सो अभियसली कन्ट्रोल्ड छ होइन नम्बर अफ डेट्स द्याट यु क्यान बुक स्टुडेन्ट्सहरू कतिवटा नम्बर खुल्छ त्यति मात्र भन्न पाएन अनलिमिटेड भन्न पाएन नि त सो त्यहाँ कन्ट्रोल चाहिँ भएको छ तर अन द अदर ह्यान्ड सिस्टमेटिक वेमा पनि गएको छ
अनि त्यो फेरि स्टुडेन्ट भिजा मात्र होइन त्यो फेरि अरू पाथवेजहरू जहाँ चाहिँ नेप्लिजहरू जान पाउँछ
F1 हुनसक्छ J1 हुनसक्छ M1 हुनसक्छ B1 B2 हुनसक्छ भिजिटर्सहरू पनि होइन सो इट्स अल टुगेदर सो डेमा चाहिँ पार्ट अफ द डे छुट्टिएला तर इट्स अल ह्यापनिङ अन द सेम प्लेस फर अल भिजा टाइप्स
इन्टरभ्यू लिनेहरू को हुन्छ नेप्लिज हुन्छ कि युएस
नो दे हेभ टु बी अमेरिकन्स
राइट ओके आई थिङ्क वी आर टुवर्ड्स द एन्ड अफ आवर सो राइट सो आई थिङ्क हामीले सबै कुरा त गरिसक्यौँ होइन जस्ट फर दि मोर प्रिसाइज इन्फर्मेसन एज फ्रम यर एक्सपिरियन्स एन्ड यु नो द expertise you have, right? So student would be very much willing to know, you know, in points like do's and don'ts, you know, for anyone aspiring to apply in US. What are the do's? What are the don'ts?
Okay.
As students.
So, is this for students? They need to prepare very well. And prepare भन्ने बित्तिकै research, okay? कुन युनिभर्सिटीमा जाने, किन जाने, के पढ्ने चाहिँ पहिले रिसर्च गरिसक्नुपर्छ, हैन? Is that university good with the kind of program that you are selecting? होइन इन्जिनियरिङ गर्न जाँदैछु भने अभियसली इन्जिनियरिङमा राम्रो भएको क्याम्पस छान्नु पऱ्यो होइन कम्प्युटर साइन्स हो भने कम्प्युटर साइन्समा राम्रो भएको हुनु पऱ्यो अगेन एज आई सेड लोकेसन राम्रो छान्नु पऱ्यो होइन एन्ड लोकेसन हेर्दै पनि यु हेभ टु चेक फिज पनि होइन सो फिज चाहिँ एकदमै महँगो हुन पनि भएन नि त फेरि लोकेसन चाहिँ राम्रोमा जाने महँगोमा गएर तिर्न नसकेला फेरि होइन सो त्यही भएर त्यो पनि चेक गर्नु पऱ्यो सो नाउ वेन रिमोट ठाउँमा चाहिँ सस्तो होला होइन फिज सिटी एरियामा महँगो होला सो त्यो पनि चेक गर्नु पऱ्यो एन्ड अल्सो बी भेरी माइन्डफुल वेन यु आर फाइलिङ द एप्लिकेसन DS 160 राम्रोसित भर्नु पऱ्यो आफैले भर्नु पऱ्यो रिसर्च गरेर भर्नु पऱ्यो क्वेसन्सहरू धेरै जस्तो DS 160 बाट आउँछ DS 160 इज अ फर्म द्याट यु निड टु फिल अप in order to submit your applications हैन सो त्यो भर्दाखेरि बी भेरी केयरफुल इट्स अ भेरी लङ फर्म र मजाले केयरफुली भर्यो भने मोस्ट अफ द क्वेसन्स विल कम फ्रम DS 160 आफैले भर्यो भने आन्सर गर्न सक्यो नि त सो द्याट यु हेभ टु डु इट डोन्ट्समा चाहिँ प्लिज डोन्ट मक अप यु आन्सर्स होइन इन्टरभ्यूमा भन्ने आन्सर्सहरू चाहिँ फ्लो नै फ्लोमा आउनु पऱ्यो बरु पर्फेक्ट इङ्ग्लिस हुनुपर्छ भन्ने छैन बट अन्डरस्ट्यान्डेबल इङ्ग्लिस हुनु पऱ्यो होइन सो प्रिपेयर बिफोर ह्यान्ड इन्टरभ्यू प्रिपरेसन क्लासेसहरू लिनु पऱ्यो एटेन्ड दोज क्लासेस learn about tips and tricks on how to answer things, eye contacts, body language and everything. सबै कुरा सिक्नु पर्यो नि त you are going to US for an education so that means you need to have something in you as well. है सो त्यो डोन्ट्स हो भने डुजहरू भइहाल्यो थिङ इज यु फाइन्ड इफ यु आर अप्लाइङ अन यर ओन देन मेक स्योर यु डु अ इन डेप्थ रिसर्च सबै कुरा थाहा हुनु पऱ्यो होइन इफ यु आर डुइङ थ्रु एन एजेन्सी पार्टनर भने मेक स्योर एजेन्सी पार्टनर नोज अबाउट युएसको रुल्स एन्ड रेगुलेसन्स एन्ड एभ्रिथिङ एन्ड दे क्यान गाइड यु वेल होइन दे क्यान गाइड यु बेटर when it comes to Global Unisearch, so Global Unisearch is a B2B company, so we only work with agency partners. Right. So Hima Aus is one of the agency partner. So if students want to do processing for US, maybe if they come to Hima Aus, then maybe they'll get a correct guidance. You know? So they said it's a राम्रो partner or whoever mentor भनौँ या जसले गाइड गर्नुहुन्छ त्यो चाहिँ राम्रो छानियो भने पनि कतिपय क्वेरिज अनआन्सर्ड क्वेरिजहरू चाहिँ सल्भ हुन्छ Right. So that's what I have to say.
So any advice for those who are all ready to fly, you know, and they might miss out?
Okay, so about if you have done your applications yourself, you know everything over there, खासै problem न होला. But कहाँ गएर अड्किन्छ students भने, let's say if students they know where they are going, तर they have not paid their fees. हैन फी नै तिरेको छैन भने इमिग्रेसनमा जुन युनिभर्सिटीमा तिमी जाँदैछौ त्यहाँ त तिमीले के न के त रेजिस्टर गरे होला नि त होइन फी त तिरे होला नि त खै त भन्दाखेरि तिरेको छैन भने अब त्यहाँ शङ्का भयो नि त हैन कलेज जान लाओ कि छिर्न मात्र लाओ हैन सो त्यो कुराले अड्किन सक्छ वान एडभाइस इज पढ्दै गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ दे क्लियरली से द्याट डोन्ट ट्राभल to your home country until you finish your education. So travel गर्दा there has to be some reason, some solid reason to go back. हैन त्यो पनि छ एउटा which students have to be अलिकति careful. हैन सुरुमै जाँदाखेरि let's say class registrations भन्ने हुन्छ you have to register your classes before you attend before you go to the university. Orientation मा you have to register. Admission team should know when you are flying in हैन कहिले आउँदै हुनुहुन्छ त्यो युनिभर्सिटीलाई थाहा हुनु पर्यो क्रस क्वेसन गरेर युनिभर्सिटीलाई सोध्दा थाहा छैन यो स्टुडेन्ट त खै कहिले आउँछ थाहा छैन भिजा चाहिँ लाग्यो भन्ने खबर आएको थियो भन्ने भन्यो भने त त्यो प्रिपरेसन कम देखियो नि त सो प्रिपरेसन कम देखिन भएन हैन प्रिपरेसन राम्रो छ यु नो वेयर यु आर गोइङ फी पनि तिरिसकेका छ यु हेभ द प्रुफ यु हेभ अलरेडी रेजिस्टर्ड योर अकोमोडेसन रेजिस्ट्रेसन पनि छ कन्फर्मेसन छ यु नो द एड्रेस वेयर यु विल बी लिभिङ हैन सबै छ ओरिएन्टेसन डे थाहा छ कहाँ जाने हो थाहा छ यु अलरेडी हेभ कन्ट्याक्टेड द अफिसियल पर्सन अफ द युनिभर्सिटी उसको पनि इमेल थाहा छ नम्बर थाहा छ नाम थाहा छ सबै छ प्रिपरेसन राम्रो देखियो भने चाहिँ अड्केन हैन मलाई थाहा छैन अङ्कल आउनुहुन्छ बाहिर लिनलाई अनि खै कहाँ जाने हो दिस द्याट त्यस्तो खालको कुराहरू भयो चाहिँ अड्किने चान्सेस हुन्छ फर्किने चान्सेस
ओके फाइनली एउटा अर्को इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुरा के हुन्छ भने कुनै पनि नेप्लिजहरू जाँदाखेरि the one question is can I take a dependent with me or my partner or spouse what is it sir is it
त्यस्तो US को rules मा त के पनि छैन त्यस्तो you can apply with your partner as well only thing is you have to show more money हैन for your partner as well $10,000-12,000 extra देखाउनु पर्यो the bank certificate that you have shown र बुझ्नै पर्ने कुरा चाहिँ के छ भने dependents can apply for US सँगै भिजा F1 F2 भन्छौँ हामी सो F1 F2 को सँगै भिजा लाग्न पनि सक्छ तर F2 once they reach US they cannot work as per the rule so dependent ले काम गर्न पाउँदैन US मा सो के को लागि लाने त
right
do you have that much of money to pay for your dependent and make them live with you without doing anything हैन so त्यो emotional support this that भन्ने छ so that looks good when you are inviting someone at the end of your program सकिन लाग्दाखेरि बोलाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ certain year भइसक्यो हुन्छ नभेटेको and then you will miss it and then you will call your spouse and then राम्रो देखिन्छ नि त सो त्यसमा चाहिँ it's an ideal situation हैन मास्टर्स त्यही पनि 1.5 वर्षको 2 वर्षको हुन्छ 1.5 वर्ष 2 वर्षमा म सक्छु भने पैसा छ भने त्यो पनि गर्न मिल्यो अप्लाई गर्न तर ब्याचलर्समा 4 वर्ष त मिल्दैन सो नो वान आई request no one to apply with dependents for bachelor's program masters ma ho bhane case by case ho we can see discuss and check the program that you are going to which university garni nagarni financial background sabai kura hernu parne huncha yatiki bhanna sakidaina tara dependent can apply for US when it comes to a master's program
right so I think we are towards the end and finally I'll just want to give wrap up with a few stepwise process and sir please correct me when I miss something to apply US as a student in undergrad or postgrad level so first of all is you need to find research about the right courses and university that you are looking for that you are eligible to apply and if you are applying on your own without the support of agency and US allows that right so, yes if you are doing that on your own that's also acceptable in US but chances might be that you might miss something that's where agency like us or the expert like Jackson sir comes in to do their part and you can reach out to agencies like us and reach out to sir to explore study opportunity in US so I think when you select a course or university you just fill the application might come or with or without application fee right
sure
and when you fill up the application form once you submit universities college will take 1 week 2 weeks or at least a month to decide with I-20 and a scholarship that you might be eligible for and once you receive your I-20 then actual process begins and that's where you need to fill the DS-160 form and pay for service fee right sir
MRV fees for the appointment and service fee so $185 for the appointment and $350 for service
$185 for appointment and
$350 for
for
service.
service. What is service? Sir?
Service is a system, student exchange visitor information system
Okay.
like पैसा
हजुर.
जसमा चाहिँ everything will be recorded. कतिवटा
हजुर.
आइटम दिएको छ, कुन
ए,
युनिभर्सिटी
okay.
हो, कहाँ तिरेको छ सर्भिस फी, कहाँ जाँदैछ, everything. And immigration भोलि गएर पोर्ट अफ एन्ट्रीमा चाहिँ त्यही चेक हुने हो नि त.
हजुर, हजुर.
सर्भिस नम्बर राख्ने बित्तिकै सबै थाहा हुन्छ हैन. So you are going to university A and then you are paid to university B हो नि त. मिलेन कुरा क्वेसन आउँछ. So त्यही भएर चाहिँ सर्भिसलाई चाहिँ $350 हामीले तिर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ.
Right. So interview, service fee, and D160,
Yep.
DS160
भर्नु पर्यो.
form. त्यो भर्नु पर्यो, and then you appear for interview,
Exactly.
and that's where the decision is made in day one, right? When you appear for the interview, you get your results right there.
Yeah.
Anything you would want to say at the end, and how do you find the concept of getting it right or get it right?
It's like this, Anup, Get It Right podcast, I think will do great. And then we need more of such kind of thing happening around so that we give right information to the right person. हैन
Right.
जो जानै छैन युएस उसलाई युएस को इन्फर्मेसन दिएर त काम भएन तर जो जाँदै छ who is looking day in and day out in the internet about right information नपाएको सिचुएसन होला मिसलिडिङ इन्फर्मेसन होला कहाँ गएर करेक्ट गर्ने त कहाँ गएर भेरिफाई गर्ने इफ इट्स राइट और रङ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ एजेन्सी लाइक yours can correct these students हैन maybe answer their queries or doubtsहरु केही छ भने क्लियर गर्ने काम चाहिँ agencies like yours will do it. Now, final words, Matsai, I wish all the students and parents to have a good research about the university, have a good planning, financials planning for education of your child. If you are a parent, students, financial plan. You need to know where the income is coming from. And then make sure you study when you are in US, complete your education on time, and as I said earlier as well, opportunities र भोलि गएर कमाउने मौका चाहिँ obviously पछि आउँछ त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हतार गर्नु पर्दैन. US is a place where everyone, those who have gone, is doing very well. Some of them have also returned and is doing very, very well in this country. So that's why I want you to go, get education, come back, and then do something good in our country, Nepal. So if you prepare well, I'm sure you will get your visa granted, and then you'll get the opportunity to go to US and study.
Thanks so much, sir.
Thank you very much, Anup.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So at the end, सबै विद्यार्थीहरूलाई म के भन्न चाहन्छु भने हाम्रो यो युट्युब च्यानल हिमास युट्युब भनेर छ र त्यहाँ गेट इट राइट सो को एपिसोडहरू यो युट्युब च्यानललाई फलो गरिदिनु होला, सब्सक्राइब गरिदिनु होला र सेयर गरिदिनु होला सो द्याट तपाईँ अनि तपाईँ जस्तै अरू विद्यार्थीहरूले चाहिँ अब्रोड स्टडीको बारेमा जान्नै पर्ने कुराहरूको लागि धेरै ठाउँ नधाइकन धेरै गुगल सर्च च्याट जिपिटी नगरिकन एउटै स्पेसमा एउटै प्लेटफर्ममा राइट इन्फर्मेसन पाउन सक्नुहुन्छ. सो गेट इट राइट गाइज, सी यू, थ्याङ्क यू.